You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary. Woo! That feels good. 7-2 victory by the New York Islanders against the Detroit Red Wings for the last game of the homestand before they head on the road for, I believe it's 4 games. Either way, doesn't matter. I'm your host, Mitch Anderson. It's going to be probably just me tonight. Matt is at the game, so you can thank him for the win and also thank him for Matthew Schaefer's point streak coming to an end. Just can't have it both ways when Matt's in the building, apparently. But anyways, it's just probably going to be me because getting back from the game for Matt is going to take a while. He probably won't be here in time, so you're stuck with me, but I hope that's quite all right for you. Typically when I'm here doing this solo, I don't do the same type of post-game show that we're used to, just because it's not really the same dynamic when it's just me going like, look at that goal, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of goals to talk about. So like, I don't think it's going to be the most dynamic type of show if I just kind of do that. So I'm going to go back and forth with all of your comments, and I'm probably going to read just about every single one of them, which is not something we usually do because there's a ton of comments, but let's go at it, man. Like, let's just start like right here from Vegeta. Mayfield just had a good defensive play. This is weird. And I think this is a good way to start the show because it feels like everyone was having a good game. I don't know why I took that away. Everyone had a good game today. You can argue maybe Cizikas didn't, especially in the third period. But it really came out that everyone was playing well almost right from the beginning and all the way through the game. Absolutely everyone was on their game. Even Mayfield there. So like fantastic stuff from absolutely everyone in the lineup tonight, from Mayfield all the way down. And the Vegeta keeps going saying, this is the best game I've ever watched these guys play in seasons. Loving every second of it. And yeah, like it's hard not to like what you saw. Like they're up 7, they win 7-2. They're up 2-0 in the first period. And it was all Islanders. Tony DeAngelo gets on the board first. And, maybe not lucky. I don't want to say lucky, but I guess his luck was on his side in a way because there's a giveaway in the offensive zone just seconds before this play that almost ends up in our net. Good defensive play by the team, good save by Rittich, and then it goes the other way. And Tony DeAngelo finds himself as if like it was an accident, but puts himself in some good space to score. And that third line, which contributed to that goal with Lee and Holmstrom getting the assists there. That third line was fantastic all game long. I would argue, maybe not our best line because that Bohorvat line was fantastic too, but maybe our second best line, and it's close between who the best and second best line was. Just absolutely fantastic stuff. And then Emil Heinman just keeps on friggin' scoring, right? Like again, he's on his 4th goal. It's not going to be his only one in the game. To put us up 2-0 later on in the period after we just kept the pressure going. It really feels good. There was in our Patreon, if you haven't signed up to our Patreon, you get access to our Discord channel. And in that Discord channel, there has been a petition started to not call it the Noah Dobson trade, but call it the Emil Heinman trade. A petition that I've already approved because Emil Heinman looks friggin' fantastic. Through only 7 games. It looks great. I know Matt and I had said like maybe we should bump him down and so we can move Simon Holmstrom up. At this point, no, no. to take that back, you can't do that. You have to keep Emil Heinman up there. It's just working, and it's working with Simon Holmstrom on that third line as well. It's just everything's coming up gangbusters. To keep going through the comments here, like left lock, we may never lose again. Cue the Shorzy memes of this team will never lose again. It really feels that way. We go through the first period. We're up 2-0. Obviously, we end the game 7-2. We don't outshoot them, but that's because they being the Detroit Red Wings, put on maybe a little bit more pressure in the third period. And we kind of took our foot off the gas by sitting in the penalty box for no stupid reason at all. And kind of leveled the game in terms of shots. But prior to that, it was all Islanders. The Detroit Red Wings just really didn't have much going for them. To Jeremy, saying 7-2 solid performance and love to see the response by Cizikas and Mayfield to stand up for Schaefer. They've been waiting for that opportunity. Good game, Isles. So in case Some of you didn't see that. And you probably have if you've watched the game at the end of the third period or near the end, but literally quite at the end of the period. Matthew Schaefer gets tied up with, I think it's Comfer for Detroit. And at first, no one really notices. But then I think it's McLean who notices first, and he goes flying into this interaction to stand up for Matthew Schaefer. And Scott Mayfield and Casey Cizikas, as Jeremy says here, are right there behind him. And it's a swarm. They are on him like white on rice is the word I want to use here. They were not having it. And as Jeremy says, they've been waiting for this opportunity to stand up for their guy. And eventually Kyle McLean and Casey Cizikas let Scott Mayfield, who's 6'5", 230 some odd pounds, do the thing. There was no fight involved, but it was really just a war of words. And Scott Mayfield saying, if you do that, I'm going to end you. But still, it's good to see them stand up for their guy later in the third period. So that's great. Nick is saying that Schaefer's point streak comes to an end on a night we scored 7 goals. Go figure, right? Like, how many of you would have thought that if the Islanders score 7 goals, that Matthew Schaefer doesn't have a point? Not one. And it wasn't for a lack of trying. He was phenomenal offensively, phenomenal defensively. Everything he was doing was well, maybe not everything. There's a couple of plays where you're like, probably could have done better there, but whatever, 18-year-old. He probably should have had a point tonight, but whatever, man. Like, he's not going to score every night. And I think someone else, oh yes, there it is Bean Burrito Enjoyer saying Schaefer's point streak comes to an end, but he's still a point per game player as a defenseman, which is insane. We haven't seen that since Denny Potvin. Anyways, just to go through some of the goals in case some of you have missed it. The third period is, again, all Islanders, all of it. Third line comes in with Pajot scoring. Followed that up with Kyle Palmieri off the skates. They don't ask you how, they just ask you how many. So excellent stuff here from Kyle Palmieri. Just get yourself towards the net. That's the thing. Get to yourself towards the net and, they'll bounce it off of you. And then Matthew Barzal picks up a really fortuitous, maybe not bounce, but like loose puck really right at the blue line and buries it past Cam Talbot. High glove. Was it glove? Yeah, because he's a lefty. High glove. Excellent stuff from Matthew Barzal, who's now got 2 goals on the year. And he had, 3 points tonight? I don't know if he gets another point. He doesn't have another point. So he only has the 1 goal. 2 points. The assist here with Kyle Palmieri's goal. Schnutz, huh? But again, third period was more of the Islanders just kind of dictating play. They don't lead in shots. Detroit's get 13, but it was still all Islanders, it felt like. And obviously the goals kind of stand out. They had a big advantage, right? Like, they start the period up 2-0, and then they kind of pad that to 5-0, at least by the end, but through the halfway of it, they're up 4-0. So they can take their foot off the gas a little bit, which is probably why Detroit ends up with more shots than the New York Islanders. But I thought that they, being the Islanders, managed that push by the Detroit Red Wings to have some sort of relevance in the game in that second period, and ended up making Detroit pay for it. So just phenomenal stuff in terms of managing the game. At that point, up to that point, it changes by the third period. But up to that point, the Islanders had done a really, really good job managing the game and just doing exactly what they're supposed to do. It's very methodical by them. Jimmy Pin says, I had no way of watching this, so I have questions. Beauty, bring them in. What in the wide world of sports was going on in UBS Arena? And did Patrick Roy say anything about Detroit leaving Talbot in for all 7 goals? Yeah, I haven't seen what Patty has said. I'm kind of focused on this. So I haven't even looked at Twitter for reactions and stuff. If you guys see it, let me know. I can't bring it up like Matt does because he's way better at this than I am. I haven't quite figured that out yet, which makes me feel old. Am I an old person who just struggles with technology and I have to delegate it to the younger kid? Oh, I just grew like 2 extra white hairs, man. Anyways, at one point, Cam Talbot does go to the bench and says something. We don't know what he said. And John Gibson did go to the bench to the room, according to the broadcast, but nothing was ever made of it. And this was in the third period. So I don't know if Cam says, I'm just not feeling it. Can you change me? But they never do that. And who knows what was going on. It wasn't like the Islanders were getting lucky. If they were creating their own luck by just playing really, really well. So I don't know, man. Like the Islanders just were on it today. They played a really solid game in all aspects of it. So good job by them. We got a super chat here from Mr. LT 3685. Let me go down to that to pop it on the screen here. Where are you? There you go. No points for that Schaefer kid. What a bust. I appreciate having the sarcasm, of course, although I could have guessed it from this, but I do appreciate putting that out there so I can, not have to Ron Burgundy that and worry about it. But yeah, what a bum, right? Can't get a point in a 7-goal game. Pfft, send him back. We should have drafted Nisa. I love it. Thank you very much, Mr. LT. Keep the sarcasm coming. I love it. We need that to make ourselves feel good and have some laughs, even when we're not going to be, winning games 7-2. From Andre saying tremendous effort tonight. Team is so energized with Schaefer. It's clear, man. Who was saying this on the broadcast the other day? I think it was Cold-Blooded Clowns. I thought you said this, that Matthew Schaefer just being there and having bringing his skill set to this team is elevating some of the guys around him, and not so much as like his plays making them better. It's them trying to rise to the occasion to match the skill set that Matthew Schaefer, or just the impact that Matthew Schaefer is bringing to the roster. Cold-Blooded, correct me if I'm wrong a little bit later in the comments here, but I'm pretty sure you said that the other night in the last Islanders game. What else we got here? Max TG, who needs Dobson when you got Heinman? Let's be honest. You see the turnover by Noah Dobson the other night, and then you see this by Emil Heinman, who scores twice and has how many points now, Emil Heinman? Emil Heinman stats. I don't think this page is going to be up to date. It is not. He has six points in 7 games, which is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we didn't talk about the third period just yet. We're up 5-0, and as Bargy says in intermission with Shannon, just like, we don't need to take our foot off the gas, but we don't need to press for more goals. We just got to really play a decent game, not a decent game, but an error-free game throughout the rest. So an error-free 20 minutes, and we'll be okay. And then they don't do the goddamn thing. Specifically, even Barzal. He takes a dumb interference penalty almost instantaneously in the third period. They don't score off of it. And then Casey Zizekas almost immediately after that takes what is the most egregious cross-check I've ever seen in my life. Right off of the face-off, I don't know if you've seen it, cross-checks the Detroit Red Wings through the back. Everyone's watching, and both refs arm right up, right away, breaks his stick over his back. I don't know what that player said to him, but apparently it was something, horrible, because Casey Zizekas pulled what is effectively what I like to call a Zinedine Zidane. Just goes right through him with his head. In this case, was his stick. Just loses his head, goes in the penalty box, and Dylan Larkin scores to make it 5-1. And none of us were thinking at that point, like, oh boy, here we go. We're going to lose this game. None of us were thinking that. It's just like, well, how close does Detroit get from here? And how much do we take our foot off the gas? And of course, Emil Heinman, with an insane setup by Bo Horvat, just puts the 5th one in and really kind of, or 6th one in, sorry, and seals the deal, I believe, at that point. It's just like, no, there's no way Detroit is coming back. This is done and dusted. Simon Holmstrom, for good measure, scores his goal. Probably should have scored one earlier in the game, but he was getting opportunities, and that's all that matters. Again, third line getting shit done. Anders Lee, 3 points on the night. Just phenomenal friggin' stuff from the captain. And then Bergeron gets, I don't know, a consolation goal. It was a nothing goal that he got there to make it 7-2, but at that point, 17-20 in the third period. The Islanders didn't manage that third period too well, at least to start. It was disappointing to see them start the period without any sort of mental toughness. Again, Matthew Barzal takes a dumb penalty. Casey Zizekas takes a dumb penalty. And you're just like, guys, you just said play a low event, no error period, and you'll see out the win. And you did the exact friggin' opposite. Of course, you don't lose, which is fine. And you wanted to, even Matthew Barzal said, play one for his goalie. It just help him preserve that shutout, and you didn't. Kind of sucks. If there's going to be a negative, it's going to be that, but it's really not that big of a deal in terms of the negatives. Okay, keep going. Bean Burrito. Emil Heinman is not a player you trade. Lots of Heinman comments here, and they're all correct. Left lock, Heinman all over the goddamn place. What a showing from the boys tonight. Yeah, man, lots of love for Heinman, and rightfully so. Look, even Gary, our boy here, Heinman is looking good on the first line. It's really coming through. And that is not something that Matt and I had seen earlier, right? Like we were talking about, like if we're going to make a change, you put Simon Holmstrom up there and you move Heineman down. But obviously, Patty saw it better than we did, and saying like, no, I'll just see it through. Things are going to work out. And sure enough, they friggin' did. It's just the way it goes, man. Like that. How smart does this make Metzer Dash look? Of course, it's early. So there's still a potential where this goes sour, right? We remember Emil Heineman had a great first start of the year last year, and then it fell off in the second. Yes, there was the accident, though. So it was huge contextual asterisk there next to that statement I just made. However, this is a player who starts off, strong. Will that continue in the second half of the year? I have to assume it does because there's no reason that it just kind of falls off when the calendar switches. But let's see what happens later on in the year. So far, looks amazing. Left Lock is giving me some love for having the Sholo show. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Screw O'Leary. No, don't screw O'Leary. What is it? Oh, Sloppy. That troisième trio was cooking. I swear if Roy moves Simon, I'm going to lose it. Yeah, so this is in reference to something that we were talking about on our patron show, where sometimes they like to throw French stuff at me. They go on their Google Translate and they throw the French stuff at me. And Sloppy had quatrième ligne because it's fourth line. The direct translation is quatrième ligne. And in French, we actually say trio for a line because it's 3 forwards. Anyways, so he's correcting that. So good job. Jeremy keeping track of the out of tone scoreboard here. Sharks win in OT. Hopefully it wasn't Macklin Celebrini scoring because someone, and we're not going to name names, someone here kept Macklin Celebrini on the bench for no good reason, just because he didn't set his fantasy line. But still, Macklin Celebrini and Jake Gensel were left on a bench. Not going to name names, but it's someone you all know. Real dumb mistake by that person. Okay, Max TCG. I can't do my Schaefer obligatory point per game. I don't know. He's still point per game, but it's not the same. It's really not. It's not the same. Let's save it. He'll get back to it. It's no big deal. From Doge, when was the last time the Islanders had a positive goal differential on the season? Like by the end of the season, you mean, or at any point in the season? I'm sure it's happened, but I get the point you're making. Like the offense is really clicking right now. 7 goals today. We had, was it 4 goals the other day? 5 goals after that. Like this is turning out to be one of the best offenses in the league right now. I shouldn't say in the league because I don't know what the other teams are looking like. Let's find it out right now. Very short sample size, and I'm getting really ahead of myself here, but it feels really freaking good. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 best offense in the league in terms of just goals scored so far. So far, only 7 games. Super small sample size. I'm not saying this is going to be translatable, but it feels really freaking good to be there at this point because it doesn't feel like we've ever been there before. I don't think we will be any longer. I don't think this lasts, but holy shit, let's love it while it's here. Kyle Harrington, the game showcased Schaefer's defensive play. It's true. He looked really good defensively, just making some decent decisions in his own end. There's a few other times where like maybe not, but he's learning. And the fact that he's taking those strides at 18 years old, and he's only going to get better in the next couple of years. And again, he's only 18. It's just insane stuff. Nick, arguably the best game the Roy era ever produced. You're probably right. Well, they mentioned it the other day. Last time Sorokin was in, or the last time the Islanders had 7 goals scored, Sorokin was one of those goal scorers. I don't think that was in the Roy era, though. I think that was still Lane, but I could be wrong. But either way, doesn't matter. It's up there, and that's all that friggin' matters. Nick and Edit, don't touch the kid. This is in reference to Schaefer. Happy they had Schaefer's back at the end of that game. Most fire we've seen from them in a long time. Look, that's a good point. They've always had each other's backs, but sometimes it doesn't look like it, or it doesn't show it. And in that instance, with everyone getting up, it's clear at this point. We feel it, and we felt it for a while. Not just Matt and I, but all of us collectively have felt that the team has some sort of sense of purpose, at least to ourselves as fans, because there's a direction, right? You get Matthew Schaefer, you got a new GM, you know where you're supposed to be going, you know where you're headed. They didn't have that before. So not only were we fans lost in terms of like, what are we even doing here, but it really felt like the players felt that too. And it kind of showed on the ice. Still good players and still playing to win, but like not playing for any kind of like, where are we going exactly type of thing. And now that they have that fire is returned because they know where they're going and they're all pedaling or rowing or whatever analogy you want to use in the same direction. And it feels freaking good. Riddich a 1B from Gary. Look, the guy is playing really, really well. A lot better than I thought he would. So hell yeah to him. I love it. There's still some times where down low, it doesn't look great, but who am I to talk? I'm not an NHL goalie and I'm not allowing less than 3 goals a game. So friggin' good jobs. Big save, Dave. Aspnets, is there actually a chance Heinman is a legit top 6 guy? That shot is lethal. I mean, it certainly looks like it, man. It really certainly looks like he could be. So let's see if it continues, how long it continues, because so far it looks great. Don't see Tsiplikov fitting. His foot speed is an issue. Yep, to play wise style. On the other hand, Heinman is insane with his shot. Islanders fleece Montreal. Andre, I kind of agree with you with that. Although I don't want to lock that sentiment in because, again, it's still early. But already with 2 firsts, I thought we got fair value. Heineman was a toss-in, but like at this point, it's probably the best toss-in we've ever found. Like even Kyle is saying here, like Heineman, what a gem we found out for the Dobson trade. Like, yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. What is it? Riddich had a ridiculous stick save this game. We might be back to a proper 2-goalie system once Sorokin gets back to his old self again. Hopefully Nalmobs can do that. That stick save in the 3rd period looked clumsy for anyone who plays goalie, but it was on purpose. Not anyone who plays goalie, anyone who doesn't play goalie, I should say. But it was done on purpose, and it was just phenomenal stuff. Great reactionary save from Big Save Dave there, so good stuff. Really stumped by the boneheaded cross-check by Zeeper. Still another out-of-character move by him this year. Like, Zeeper's not looked the same. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him because he doesn't look right. So hopefully he rights himself. But as Matt and I were talking, because Matt's at the game and saw that as well, saying like, man, the Richie meter just moved up a notch because of that one play by Cizikas in the 3rd period. What is it? From Cold Blooded, Lee, Simon, and JP. Line has been cooking since the 3rd of the last game. Detroit on a back-to-back. Yep, and did have any juice. CC took a horrible penalty. That's true. The 3rd line was fantastic. So big game from the Swedish sniper. Hell yeah. Heineman, man, if he can score 20 goals, that'd be great. But I think at this point he's gonna be doing more than that. It will be interesting when this team has to play back-to-backs. Yep, Andre, absolutely. We haven't had to do that. And Detroit, as was pointed out by was it Cold-Blooded there, that Detroit's on a back-to-back, so add advantage Islanders. But they used to get advantages. That doesn't always happen. Some checks Zeke's equipment for puck magnets. He was getting hammered. He was constantly in the way. Got hammered by his own team, by the opposition, just constantly in the way, but was Casey Zizekas. Looking at the box score, does he get credits for block shots? Like even the ones we blocked our own? Only 1 block shot. Should be more than that for Casey Zizekas, even just by accident. Just ridiculous. While we're here, I'm going to take a break for some of the comments because I'm going through fast enough. Maybe not. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one first. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There are 115 of us here watching along. If you haven't liked and haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps us grow the channel, reach more Islander fans, and it helps Matt and I really effectively get paid for doing this type of content and allows us to do more types of content the more we get paid. And it doesn't have to come directly out of your pocket. Like, we're not asking you for any direct money. This is the best way to help us get monies so we can keep doing this type of Islander content, not just post-game stuff, but even maybe more than that. So please do that. Please, please, please. But let's look at this here real quick. Your standout player is obviously Anders Lee with 3 points, a +4 in only like barely 13 minutes, 6 shots on net, a block, a hit, a giveaway, but whatever, who cares? Just phenomenal play from the captain. It's absolutely excellent game from Anders Lee. And he's been on one for a while now, but that Ottawa game when he scores that game winner at the end hasn't come down from that yet. And hopefully he never, ever, ever does. What else do we have here in terms of like standouts? Heinman, the 2 goals, 4 shots on net. Some really even ice times except for that 4th line, but really even stuff here. What else? What a face-off percentage? Bo Horvat 61%. Jean-Gabriel Pajot 61% on the face-off dots. Barzal 44. Whatever, doesn't matter. On the blue line here, we got Pulock with 2 points. I didn't think he had a good game today. Ryan Pulock did. Tony D, good to see that he's got 2 points because he hasn't been playing that well last couple of games. So this should hopefully give him a confidence boost and we see the best of him again. And then outside of that, some pretty even ice times outside of Matthew Schaefer with the 25 minutes. But we had 3 power plays that we didn't convert on, but he got there. Okay. What else do we have here in terms of comments here? Max saying I wouldn't call the Barzal goal lucky, which is what I said. In terms of, I said it was lucky. I don't want to, anyways. Lee fought the guy so visuals could acquire and quickly pass it on to him. It's true. You're right. I shouldn't have said it's a lucky goal because it wasn't. It's not like, oh, randomly thing, like they worked for that. I think when I mean lucky, it was Barzal who ended up with it instead of someone else type of thing. And I think if it came to anyone else, you probably don't have that clean of an attempt on net. So that's maybe what I meant because I'm playing revisionist history with my own comments. Okay, Jeremy, weird stat. All the teams in the Metro have an even or better goals for against differential, while all teams in the Atlantic, aside from Montreal, have a minus differential. Huh. That is weird. That is very strange. Yeah. Richie, this looks like Doug Wade hockey, but something's different. I don't know what it is because it's not like the defensive zone schematics are better. They're really not. I think we just got the better players for it. I really think we do. You got a guy like Schaefer who is playing 25 minutes a night who can really pull that puck out of thin air. Sorry, not pull the puck out of thin air, but pull a play out of thin air, even if it's in his own zone. Like, think back to the second period tonight, right? In the second period, he makes this play where he's got the puck behind the Islanders' goal line, and instead of playing it back to his defensive partner, on the other side of the goal, he just runs it up the middle, and it's an attempt on goal at the other end. And you're going, if we don't have him, that's not happening. No one else is going to make that play but someone like Matthew Schaefer. And so phenomenal stuff. That certainly helps. So do we recalibrate our expectations from the Islanders this season? Yes, no, or maybe. I would say no. I'm still on. This is a 500 team. It feels friggin' good to have a 4-game win streak. There's quality here for sure, but I don't think we need to recalibrate our expectations for this team. World of Highlights. Love to see Lee raising his trade value. That's going to be a tough decision for management and fans to go through. I think any fan, you ask them, do you trade Anders Lee at maximum value? You obviously say yes, but I think there's still going to be some trepidation. Like, I don't want to because he's such a good Islander and has been forever. Like, do you want to give that up? But if you can get a first rounder and maybe something else, you got to do it. You have to do it. Where's my cursor there? Jimmy says Islanders currently tied for 5th in the NHL in goals scored. Never thought I'd see the day. Probably not sustainable, but it's been a fun start. Yep. Amen. State, who cares about Dobson? We have Boquist. He was picked early in Dobson's draft. We kept the better D-man and we have Schaefer. just double burn. Just double burn. I forgot that Boquist was taken before Dauber. That's and then Boquist is playing, as you see here, 13 minutes tonight. Rough. Avi says, Mitch, to be fair to Barzy, even the Red Wings announcer calls that minor soft. Fair. It was soft. Charmin soft. Max TGG. Other way around, I think Barzal penalty this. Other way around, I think Barzal penalty score on it's Zekas one they don't. I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe you're right. You might be right. It's just because they score 3 minutes in, and I think what I did there is I was like, oh, Barzy took 2-minute penalty. That's obviously after the start of the first. So I think you're right in saying that, Max, that it was the other way around. Fair. Thank you for that. Detroit commentators saying it wouldn't have been a send-off in the past. It wouldn't have been a send-off in the past. Do you mean the Cizikas penalty? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Yannick. So let me know. Dobson has some elite skills, but not the best hockey IQ. Yeah, you can see the difference when compared to Schaefer. Glad we got Asp and picks for him. Assman, the Heine. Love it. Schaefer's incredible. Him getting buried at the end, and we take his head off also sucks. I need to illegally stream these games. Gotham is too damn much. Yeah, Goat. I know. I don't have access to Gotham anyways. I don't have access to ESPN here in Canada. But I also ER it, and I'm just better off for it. I really am. I get an MSG broadcast. Sometimes it's delayed by like 30 seconds to a minute, but I'll take it for the couple $100 that I save every year. And the ads are annoying, granted, but I find I save the couple $100. That's fine. Auto Buddy says the two previous comments go together too well. Bill saying, didn't know you were soloing tonight. They got some place. I don't know if that's the ones you meant, Auto, but that's fair. I was soloing tonight, Bill, because Maddie's at the game and it takes forever and a day to get back from the game. You come living in at your end of town, you know how long it takes to get back from the games. Cold-blooded, 48, diving and keep the puck in the zone on the power play. Then again, hustling to make another blue line save. It's the little thing the kid, capital because necessary, does that's impressive. It really is. Everything he does, maybe not everything, 90% of the stuff he does is absolutely off the charts, which is insane. Just ridiculous. Yannick saying Heinman has been traded thrice. He's here to stay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's here to stay. Avi says, or Berms. I don't know why I keep calling Avi. I know it's there. Anyways, Berms, what do you do with Shabanov now? I don't know. He's been good. It's not like he needs to come out, but I guess you play him on the fourth line. Oh, probably not. That doesn't feel right. I don't know, man. Everything is clicking. That's going to be a tough decision for Patrick Roy to make, and he's almost definitely going to make the wrong one because what are you supposed to do? You can't not play Shabanov, but you can't break up everything that's working. Like that's a tough place to do it, man. That's a tough decision to make for Patrick Roy here. What else do we got? Richard, thank you very much, buddy. It's not easy to do a solo gig, especially when you don't have all the technological know-how of a Matt O'Leary, who's a whiz kid. I call him a kid. He's like 30 years old, but still, like, he's younger than I am, so he's a kid. He's a kid, damn it. Celebrating had a hat trick. God damn it. Guys, I left 10 points on the bench today on my fantasy league. I could even show you how I left 10 points on the friggin' bench because I was an idiot. I didn't know that the Chicago game started early, and I guess I was frazzled, and then I didn't do anything else, thinking like, oh, whatever, screw it. I didn't set my line. I just won't set it. Not thinking I could set other players for, other times. But let me just show you here. Share this tab instead. Look at my bench. Silabrini had 9.6 points. Jake Gensel had 2.7 points. Morgan Barron already has 0.4. I don't know why he wasn't. It did say he was out earlier. So like there's 10 points, 11, 13, 12 points. I could do math on the bench. What a stupid idiot I am. What a stupid man I am. Billy says this was a fun game, although I am never truly comfortable until the final figure horn. Yeah, man, I get it. I hear what you're saying, Bill. You're never comfortable even under a 7-2 situation, but yeah, you never know. But it feels good to be in that position now. Ready? Plan the parade. We're going up the turnpike. Ooh, baby, with that parade. You're right. It was last year where he scored the goal, Kyle and Connor. This is the last year where he did that, so totally fair. I get conflated, so that's good. It was under Patrick Roy. Yeah, and Connor, yeah, he scored last year. Again, going back to Gary, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. Okay, two left lock. Turns out playing loose with no real expectations for success this season and not being forced to scratch and claw to save your GM's job is actually good for a healthy team mindset. Oh my God, who would have thought that if you didn't give a shit about the numbers you wear or how long people's hair is or if they grow facial hair that you can still win games? Wild, absolutely wild concept that we're currently living in. Bouncer, we love you, buddy. So all we want to do is create some wild content. So I'm glad you're loving it here. So we love all of you guys. We love all of you. Gary, if they keep scoring 7 goals, Matt can go to all the games and miss the post games. Fair. We'll just have a goal fest here without Matt, and that's totally fair. I think he would live with that as well. Okay, Mr. LT, what would be a realistic ask from Barzy in terms of save percentage? Huh? There's something I'm missing there, Mister. You're gonna have to give me another one a little bit later because I don't. Oh, okay. You mean face-offs? Sorry, face-offs. Close to 50. Like if we can get 50%, 49%, I'll take it. And I get it. Like 44 isn't too far off from 50, but Matthew Barzal's face-off numbers are really bad throughout his entire career. Right? If I bring this tab up. You can see his face-off numbers, like never over 40, once over 45% over a career. That's bad, man. And of course, they're not really high over the last couple of years, but still, he's taken 100. He only took like 50, but he only played 30 games, and only 42%. It's got to be in the close to the 50s. That's acceptable to me. But until then, we'll see what happens. James Ward, did anyone else hard go up to the throats when Shaver hit the goalpost? Kind of, man. Kind of. He went down hard, it seems, and it took him a while to get back up. And I thought, well, here we go. We're done here. Just wrap it up. Just give us McKenna now. But thankfully, in a way, he's fine and was fine. But still want McKenna. Although I'm not holding out for it. King Billy, Isles are +3 on the season goal differential. Where were we ever on the plus side at all last season? I don't think so. Well, we must have. We must have at one point, but let's look. We got time here. Whatever. We're spending a little bit longer than we usually do. And looking at this, we're not going to go and dissect it exactly, but we can kind of look at this if we share this tab instead. So you got a loss -1, loss -4, and then you've got +4, -1, +1, -1, no. Oh no. We might not have. Oh, damn. Okay. I thought early in the season it may have been possible, right, with just like one really big win, but it doesn't look like it, man. So good call. Yeah, Whalers and Nordiques on now. So Carolina is playing Colorado, and they're playing in their former teams' jerseys, and they're even using the names on the scoreboard, which is kind of cool. So tune in there if you can. Danny's saying fun is what we're realistically hoping for. Happy to see. Yep, absolutely. We're just here to have some fun at this point. This is a season of low expectations. Gotta wet that whistle a little bit here. James is best game of the season. You're not the only one saying that. Not at all. Okay, what else do we got here in terms of the comments? We're kind of getting near the end. That's okay. Andre saying, look at Pittsburgh and the way they are playing. It's early. There will be revisions to mean Pittsburgh isn't this good. Totally agree. And kind of the same thing for us. There will be revisions to the mean. It's just, when is that going to happen? And what does it look like? Like, what does our actual mean look like, right? And because Andre is absolutely right. There's going to be regression to the mean. It's just, what is that mean for us? Is it 500? I think so. Matt thinks so. Is it maybe a little bit better than that? Or is it maybe a little bit worse? That's what we're going to find out by the end of the year and just have some fun along the way. Chris, the GOAT, Bellafiore. Can Heinman really be this impactful of a player? It sure as shit looks like it. And Mathieu Darche is going to say that he thought so, because that's why he got him up. But my God, he's looking really good over the last couple of games. And it looks sustainable. It looks sustainable. Who knows, man? Who knows? Lol, we were not negative goal differential last season before the first game of the season. Lol. Fair. I may not have done the math right. Like, quick math is not my strong suit. I can do math, just not quickly. So we got the Flyers on Saturday, 5 in a row. What do you guys think? Do you think we win against Philadelphia? I think we've got a really good chance, but I'm not going to go into any game saying these are must wins, even against San Jose, or not must wins, but I'm not looking at the schedule saying like guaranteeing wins, but they aren't playing well, I believe, Philadelphia, and we are. So, hey man, if we can make 5 in a row, that'd be dope. 10 points on the board right from the start. Hell yeah. The Jets, how did you become an Islanders fan from Canada? I'm newer to watching you guys this year. Okay. I've said this a few times, so don't feel bad, but some of the veterans will know. I live in Ottawa, specifically a neighborhood of Ottawa, just downtown, called Vanier. And Denis Potvin is from Vanier. He grew up here. He played hockey here. And we have a mural, or they took it down last year. I don't know what they did with it, but I think they're refurbishing it. Anyways, there was a mural on our road, on Montreal Road here, which is 2 blocks from my house. And it was Denis Potvin and Jean Potvin in Islanders uniforms. And growing up, I'd see that going like, what the hell is that? That's amazing. I have to find out more of this, because we only had Ottawa by 1993. So we didn't have a team in town. And the Montreal Canadiens were just forced upon me because I'm French, but they're not even a local team necessarily. So anyways, I was looking for my own team, and then I saw that and I went, well, that's done. Let's go. I'm going to go for the Islanders. Plus, it was right around that time in 1993 where they, went on that deep run. And so things just kind of fell together for me. Plus, in that run, you had a French Canadian, Pierre Turgeon, who's up on the wall there, as you can see, if I can point my finger properly, right next to my boy Denny. Kind of locked in from there, man. At that point, it was done and dusted. And then I just followed the team from that, and trying to make a career out of it. So far, so good. And I think that's what we're going to end it there. There's nothing else left here. I've kind of come to the end of the comments. We've reacted all together for the last 45 minutes on this incredible 7-2 win by the New York Islanders that, I'm going to look at the standings just because it's fun to look at. That puts them in a playoff spot, although like it's still super crazy early. But like they're playing well above 500. The plus goal differential. It just really feels good. It feels good to be where we are, and let's continue to have some fun. So if you didn't do it yet, who's that team behind the Isles? Lols. Yeah. Burn. This is from Connor. Lols. Who's that team here? The Rangers. Ha ha ha. So that does it for us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps grow the channel. It helps us get paid because it gets us in front of more eyeballs, and the algorithm helps, and that kind of gets us monies. If you want to sign up for the Patreon, it's patreon.com/uptheturnpike. It's 2 podcasts a week, hour-long podcasts, where for the first half to 3/4 of the show, Matt and I go through whatever content we want to go through on the week on the New York Islanders. And then the second half or quarter of the show, it's all about you, whatever you want to talk about, just like what we're doing here in the comments. So what we do here on this show is basically what we do on the Patreon. You got something pressing, you got something on your mind, you've done some digging, some research, and you just want to throw something out there and ask people about it, what they thought. throw it in there. Is it has to be Isles related? Doesn't matter. Could be NHL related, could be non-NHL related. We get one of our patrons named Spiz who throws us these random questions about is a hot dog a sandwich sometimes. All those fun things. Sign up at the Patreon. It's patreon.com/uptheturnpike. If you've done all that, or if you haven't, or whatever, you just need a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Just thank you for being here and being a good person. We'll catch you next time.